You know, after basically putting it all out on the line yesterday, the negativity that is plaguing my life right now, I honestly didn't know what to expect by doing that. I honestly didn't even know what would happen with me doing that. I'm the type of a person who always tries to be as positive as I possibly can. I don't ever want to dwell on the negativity. I don't even want to mention it. And a lot of times I just try to keep that bottled up and tucked away. But the reality of the situation is, no matter who you are, we all go through things. There is always going to come a time in your life when you are tested and when you are tried in one form or another. And for me, that time seems to be right now. I never imagined that by putting the negativity that is in my life right now out there for the world to see, to in turn bring such an outpouring of support and love from the entire APS Army. And for that, words can't even describe how grateful I am to have all of you as a part of my life. I gotta be honest, I was nervous putting this video together yesterday, talking about the fact that thoughts of me doing drugs is becoming something that is festering in my mind. And because of that, it's bringing along with it depression and also anxiety as well. These are things that I don't want to talk about. These are things that are not easy for me to talk about as well. I feel like nobody really wants to talk about the things that are wrong in their life. Or if they do, they don't have anyone to talk to at all. I'm blessed with the opportunity to be able to talk to every one of you out there who takes the time to support After Prison Show. I'm a very fortunate person to have that opportunity. But even thinking about that, it almost makes me feel like that's a selfish thing. Because there's so many others who are dealing with the same thing, even worse things, who may not have anyone at all that they can talk to. So what makes me so special to be able to sit here and talk about my problems to all of you? When I think about this, the only way that I can justify it and actually feel somewhat okay about me putting all of myself out there is by thinking that maybe in some kind of a way it'll show others who may be going through the same thing, who may not have people that they can talk to in their life about the problems that are plaguing them. Maybe in some kind of way they can see that they're not alone. Everyone in this world is going to face hardships and times that are going to seem so trying. It's almost like they're getting completely beaten down by life. But with that, I hope they'll know, as I'm having to realize myself for probably the umpteenth time in my life, for like the 1,000,000th time in my life that I've gone through this type of shit. I have to realize, as I hope others will realize as well, that when you are in these tough times, these ruts in life, it is all about what you do when in those exact type of moments. With these thoughts of me wanting to go do drugs, hell, I could just go do drugs, but then what would that prove? Absolutely nothing. What would that do for me? Completely destroy everything that I have built here thus far. What I consider to be the most awesome thing that I have ever done in my fucking pitiful life leading up to this point. Again, I have to emphasize the fact that I have never done anything good with my life until it was After Prison Show. And because of After Prison Show, I have so much hope and also so much to hold on to. But what if you're out there facing the same exact type of stuff and you don't have something to hold on to, something to hope for? What the hell do you do in that situation? You have to find something, anything. No matter what it is, as long as it's something good and positive, something that you can think towards or hope for or move forward in an effort to reach. You see, no matter what it is or how bad it ever seems to be in my life, I have to tell myself that I will vow to do everything humanly possible that I can do to not fall back into the old ways that I was so accustomed to for so much of my life that led to nothing other than me destroying everything that mattered in my life at that point and only leading me to be locked up. I will never go back to that. I can't. It's almost like I refuse to ever look back. But I also think about, what if I didn't have After Prison Show? What if this wasn't even a thing? What if my life was just wherever it was and After Prison Show wasn't a part of it? And what if I was facing the same exact stuff that I'm facing right now? Would I even be able to handle that? Would I be able to be strong enough to make the right decisions to say, Joe, you cannot fucking do this stuff. You cannot go back to these drugs. You cannot feed into this depression and let it fester and continue to live inside of your mind, which if you do will only guarantee lead you back to either your old ways or most certainly using drugs again. What if I didn't have this? Would I be strong enough to not make the wrong choices? And that's a question that I ask myself that I can't even honestly answer. I read a couple of comments yesterday that said, Joe, you seem stressed out. You should take a break from doing the videos. You should just take some time to yourself. And though I was grateful for their opinion on how I should handle this situation, I honestly feel that's something I cannot do. Because as I commented back to one of these many comments saying just that, I said, idle hands is like the devil's playground. And doing these videos is the thing that I have become the most comfortable and familiar with. This is what is normal in my life. So to take a break from this, well, things wouldn't be normal. And that would only give time to allow something else to possibly become normal then. And that something else could most certainly be something that isn't good. I feel like for once in my life I have actually come so far separated from the negativity of my past and the bullshit that came along with it as well. But even though I am so far separated from all of that shit, and even though at times it still tries to drag me back in, just as it seems at this very moment, with that separation almost comes more pressure. More pressure to perform, more pressure to continue to do the right thing, when it seems that so much is riding on me continuing to do the right thing. I would have thought before that moving so far away from my past, things would have gotten easier. And for the most part, maybe they have. But it's when those little thoughts start to nibble on my brain at this point, for whatever reason, being so far separated from my past, it's almost like those little thoughts are even that much more intensified. Because one wrong decision at this point could literally mean the difference between life and absolute destruction, even death. There are some days that I am absolutely scared to death that I am going to make the wrong decision, that I am going to be weak, and something is going to come along that is going to sway me in such a way. And just like that, I make the wrong decision and I am right back in the bullshit. I do not want to see that become my reality. I don't want to see that become anyone's reality. With me putting it all out there on the line for the entire world to see, hey look, Joe isn't perfect. He's not this happy-go-lucky type of a guy that he tries to appear to be in all of these damn videos. Joe has got some major fucking problems. But with me putting all of that out there for the entire world, I hope that in some damn way, not only will it help me get this stuff off of my chest, but maybe it helps somebody else realize that they're not alone in this as well. When you face anything negative in life, no matter what it is all about what you do next. You either give into that, or you find the power within yourself to not. Whatever it takes. I gotta be honest with you, some days it feels like I am doing everything in my power to not give in, and even with that, sometimes it still feels like it's not enough. I'm doing everything I can out here to try to continue to make the right decisions. And the crazy thing about it is sometimes when you're plagued with certain things, thoughts of wanting to go back to what may have been so familiar in your life, for me, that was addiction, that was doing drugs. When depression starts to set in as well, when anxiety becomes such a real thing in your life that you almost feel like a hermit crab, those right choices sometimes don't seem as right. Sometimes the wrong choices start to seem more like the thing that you should do. And I have to realize that that's almost like my mind playing tricks on me. When my mind tells me, Joe, you're dealing with so much right now, why don't you just go do something to let loose a little bit? When my mind starts to try to justify the wrong thing being right, I have to kick myself in the ass and say, Joe, that's just crazy thinking. That's not the right thing to be thinking at all. I have to also remember that I do have the strength inside of myself to get past these certain storms that may come up at times. This is only just some bad weather right now inside of your mind, Joe. Things will get better. You need to do things as well to make them get better. You can't just sit here and hope that things get better. You have to actually get off your fucking ass and go make things better. And that's what I intend to do. I have no choice. I have to do these things. Positive things. Get back to working out damn near religiously. Take better fucking care of yourself, Joe. Stop smoking cigarettes. Get the bullshit that is in your life right now that is holding you back. Get it out of your life and find something positive and something that can make you better. Put that in place of it. This is not just my message to myself. This is my message to anybody out there who may be dealing with similar situations, similar hard times. I refuse to give up. I have to continue to believe that I will be strong enough to not do that. And with all of that, I also want to say thank you again to every single one of you who offered your love and support after yesterday's pretty much breakdown of a video. I'm not always as okay as I try to appear to be. And the crazy damn thing about it is, I think that's the same for a lot of people. We may put on this face that everything is okay on the surface, but on the inside, things may be a complete 180, hell, damn near a disaster. But again, things are only as bad as we allow them to be. If we allow things to continue to be bad, then that is all we are going to have is bad. But when things are bad, we have to do everything we can to make them right again. I'm going to get through this. I really am. I have no choice. I will get through this. It was just a little rough patch for sure. I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to tell all of you about these deep, dark, negative things that are in my life right now. And I'd like to apologize for putting my negativity out there for the world. I feel like negativity can easily spread. But even with the fact that I'm dealing with negativity, I'm going to overpower that with a positive message with all of this. And that positive message is that no matter how bad it is, things can and will get better if we choose to make them better. And I'll be goddamned if I'm not going to make them better in my life. I got to say this again. I said this yesterday as well, but to be completely honest with you, I swear, talking to this camera, talking to all of you who I know take the time to listen to this, I swear this is like therapy for me. And as helpful as this is for me to get this shit off of my chest, I hope it is in some way helpful to those of you who take the time to hear this as well. It's good to be able to talk about these things. So thank you again for allowing me to do that.